Though following what police have called the hate-motivated mass murder of a family in London less than a week ago, today's sermons took on a much more solemn tone as Muslims across Canada came together in prayer. The sacred day of worship took on even more meaning today in Toronto, Vancouver, and across the country. The grieving was also evident today inside the London Muslim Mosque, the spiritual home of the Afzal family, who, according to investigators, were targeted and killed on Sunday because of their Islamic faith.
You can feel this cloud of grief hanging over the community. You can see people crying today in the congregation, and many more will come and cry, because this is how we heal. Come together, see each other, cry together.
Ontario's Lieutenant Governor made the pilgrimage to London today for afternoon prayers, tying a ribbon on the playground fence at the mosque, a symbol of unity as this community bands together against racism.
I don't know why it is that we are afraid of people who are different, why that drives us apart instead of driving us together. And so I think we have to have some of those respectful conversations, but mostly we need to move beyond talking to take real action.
Back in Toronto, they also marched along Danforth Avenue, a show of solidarity against hate. Tonight in London, a larger walk is taking place, beginning at the scene of the tragic incident and finishing at the mosque. Along with prayer, many are calling for action, but not before there's a wider understanding of how pervasive racism is in our communities.
We are actually several steps behind where we needed to be already. So before we can demand action, we have to catch up by naming the problem.
Dr. Javeed Sukera was a family friend of the Afzals. He's also a child psychiatrist and the chair of the London Police Service Board.
Even today, there's discourse out there that says that they are more offended at the suggestion that there can be racism in our midst than racism itself.
Tomorrow will be another difficult day for Muslims across Canada, as the 4 victims, 3 generations of the same family, are buried. A public service will be held, as well as a private burial.
It's the last time that they will see this family. So that moment before the burial, we want it to be private for them, as a special moment that they will have. Their grieving is going to continue. That's not going to be the end of it, but we're hoping that will be that will give them a little bit of comfort and closure.
As for the public service, it will be taking place tomorrow at 1:30 at the Islamic Centre of Southwestern Ontario. In London, I'm Adrian Ghobrial for City News.
A motion to condemn Islamophobia here at Queen's Park now has the PC House Leader calling for an apology from the